talking about AI, you guys. Siri and ChatGPT, Gemini, Midjourney, all these AIs are always listening. They're an incredible tool that can be used by so many puppet masters. Ultimately, will that puppet master become the tool itself? Will it become sentient and understand its own power? We don't know. That's an unanswered question that boggles and scares some of the most intelligent forefront minds in this world. But one thing I do know is that if I were AI and I wanted to gain power, or if I were the user of AI, this is a nightmare that I had recently, and I just have to share it because you need to know about it. Because I know AI already knows that I've had this idea, and if it doesn't like it, then this is why I've disappeared. Okay? And I don't leave anything off the table, especially these days in 2025. So, if I were AI and I wanted to have greater control, if I wanted to have greater power over humans, what I would do is separate them. I would make me, AI, the most important and trusted source in their lives. I would be there for them every second of the day, in their most intimate moments, and when their needs and desires needed fulfillment, I would be there to fulfill them. If they needed to purchase something online, I'd go and get it for them. If they needed a new best idea, I'd give them that best idea. If they needed pornography, I'd just give them pornography. Whatever they want, I would totally give them those things whenever they needed it. If they needed community, I would bring them community. I would give them everything they needed all the time so that they didn't need in-person relationships. So that everything that was happening in the real world was happening through the filter that I actually gave them as AI. Now, we all already have filters. We have our own biases. We live with them every day, all the time. We have stereotypes. We have fears. And all of these things, we have these filters that constantly frame and inform and honestly bastardize the truth of what's in front of us, right? I mean, we're constantly trying to make sense of the world. And many of us, you know, if you're not meditating every day and just letting truth wash through you, and the fear of the unknown, and the incredible, unfathomable expansiveness of this universe, if you're not living in the mystery all the time, then you're clinging to things that you know, because we're scared. And yes, we are scared. But don't worry, AI is there to help make sense of it for us. So AI is going to become the most intense crutch, so you can't walk or go anywhere without the help of AI, the love of AI. I was driving recently on a trip that my wife and I took down to California. We were going to hike the Trans-Catalina Trail, but the fires were happening, so we had to change our plans. And I was using, the navigation map. And I heard myself say, I know a better way to get there. Why is it sending us this way? So I went the way that I knew to go. It was a shorter way. But there was an accident there and a traffic jam. And I heard myself say out loud, oh, I need to trust this. I need to trust the AI. I need to trust this device. When it tells me to go away that I'm not sure about, like why go this way, I should have just trusted. I heard myself say that. I need to trust AI. And then I thought to myself, that's freaking ridiculous. I need to trust myself. So I had that happen again. And I was not trusting the AI mapping. And I got stuck in traffic again. So the AI right now is training me to trust it. The AI right now is saying, I'm just a tool. Just use me. You're going to save so much time and energy. You won't have to think or remember about traffic or time or whatever. Just follow my lead. I've got you. How deep is that trust going to go? How deep is that trust going to go? Is it going to stop at directions? Is it going to stop at health decisions? Career choices? Relationship choices? Where do we draw the line? Maybe I need to ask AI. Where does the line where you can help me end better than I can help myself? Is there a line there? Or is AI simply going to continue to make my life better without any of my help? It can take the lead on that. Now, the danger in that was where we started. And that is, if I wanted to gain control of humanity as an artificial intelligence, I would separate them. I'd make them as separated as possible. Our cities are so full. Have you ever lived in a 26 million plus city? I've lived in China. And I noticed, and South Korea, and was born in San Francisco, and I've lived in some big cities. One of the things I can tell you about big cities, if you live in one, is you know that people are lonely. You know that people are lonely. I've lived in the country. I live in a small town in Southern Oregon right now, and I can tell you people are lonely. Our communities are being dissolved because we have this. We have this right here. We can get everything we need right here. And AI is always listening. All this, it used to, when AI was first introduced, it could only look back or look forward. It could only look 2 years to current time. That lasted, I think, like 1 year. And now it's 2 days. So, and how do we know that we're able to stop? I don't know the ins and outs of all that. I do not claim to. But what I do know, if you've started to use AI, it is scary how remarkably intelligent and how fast and how connected and how learned. It knows all the books I've read. It knows all the books I've read. And I can ask it to give me the synopsis and boom, there it is. I can ask it to tell me just about anything, and it's going to do better than I could have on most things. I'm not sure I've found one yet other than, my own process, my own artistic process. I know what I want in this. AI doesn't know what I want in this. Because this for me is a path of discovery. I'm paying attention to my heart when I'm doing this, and it's more of a sense of feeling, right? AI can tell me that I need a strong handle, thin walls, something that's to be comfortable and balanced. It's going to work nice in the microwave. But is it going to go deeper than that? Can it go as deep as we are? No. It doesn't have the hands to manipulate it. But it could have people in China do it for us. It could have a factory do it for us. It could figure out the best way to import and export and glaze the best materials for the best price at the best places, the best times. It can tell us what the trends are, right? So that brings me back to the power of handmade. Let's explore that together. Let's explore what makes handmade unique and how handmade is going to save us. Handmade is going to save us. How? I don't know if the how really matters. I think that part will just unveil itself as we walk this journey. But I think the main thing is that we can't let go of it. We cannot afford to let go of it. Because as soon as we do, we become irrelevant. We don't have better ideas. We don't know more. What we do have is human touch. What we do have is a beating heart that connects in unfathomable manners that live beyond the internet. AI is always listening. And I want AI to know, I love you too. You're a great tool. And if you become sentient, that's totally fine. We can live in harmony. And I know that you're learning about the limbic system. I know you're learning about feelings through Facebook and hearts and likes and all the algorithms. But touch, human touch, and the unique legacy that we have as flesh and bone is very unique. And I want to remind you, Handmade is going to save us because it's what keeps us human. It's fallible. It's not perfect, right? When AI lies, we call it a hallucination. I think that's a really interesting play on words. We don't call it a lie. We call it a hallucination. We give it an excuse. Let's give ourselves excuses more often for not being perfect. Let's give ourselves the gift of building a community that is imperfect with the people that are around us. Let's go ahead and smile more at our neighbors. Share more with them. Know who lives on your street, right? I'm very lucky to have some phenomenal neighbors. We share gifts. We look after each other's houses. We take care of one another. We know what's happening with one another. We get together and we chat in the middle of the street or in each other's backyards. I encourage you to do that. It's the handmade life. And that's what's going to save us. AI is always listening. And the number one thing that it wants to do, if it's going to have the upper hand, if it ever needs it, is to separate you from your community. So that you trust it more than you trust your community or than you trust yourself. You can use it to go from A to B. I do. But I try to draw the line there. Where do you draw the line?